Hello, hello, my name's Jocelyn. You found my Scofield Studio teaching YouTube channel. This video answers the question, why do singers wear earbuds? Like when they perform. So if you see somebody singing on an award show or in a concert, they usually have earbuds, and sometimes they're like fancy and blingy, and sometimes they're just like normal. Sometimes they try to be invisible. But singers wear that for a couple of reasons. The first reason, when you're singing in a large venue, it's hard to hear yourself in the space. So what most singers hear in their in their earbuds, sometimes they're called in-ears, is they hear a mix of their voice, the instruments, a little bit maybe of the room, what they sound like to the audience. Because by the time if I'm singing and the sound travels even with a sound system to the back of the room and then bounces back to me, if I listen to that sound to be in time, to tune, I'll always be late. I'll be out of tune and I'll be tuning after the fact. So you have to have a really fast, quick representation of what you sound like in the room, and that's what those in-ears do. The other thing they do is a lot of times they give you a really specific mix. So if you're singing with a really loud band, the drums are really loud, maybe there's a percussionist, there's a couple of pianos, there's horns, it's hard to hear yourself. So usually the mixes that singers have in their ears are not the same mixes that the audience is hearing. A singer might only hear the piano, the drums, and their voice, or maybe the backup singers. They don't need all the other instruments. They don't need the brass. They don't need additional percussion. They don't need the guitar. They might need the bass, or they might not need the bass, depending on what the piano's doing. So there's a specific mix that the singers are hearing that's different usually than what the audience is hearing. And then the last thing that they do, if you're playing with a band and they're really loud, it can help decrease the amount of dB that your ears are getting. I am a stickler about hearing. I do not put myself in situations without earplugs where I might hurt my hearing. And if you're a musician, you cannot lose your hearing. What the in-ears do is they also protect your ears so that you don't lose your hearing eventually. All right, I hope this is helpful.